What's up, family? It's Selena Olivia from Selena Olivia Music, and this is That's So Music Moment. And I'm here with Mr. Wyatt. Oh, hey, Wyatt.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm doing well. I had to do a little jazz hands real quick. It was like right before
Oh,
my intro, jazz hands.
so, guys, this is how Wyatt and I roll all day, every day. So, just be ready to laugh and just smirk, like, okay, did they really go there? But wait. So I gotta start here. We're gonna go back to how you. We're gonna go to how you started in music, but I've got to go to how I met you. So
Okay,
there's
cool.
there's this event, guys, called the Vibe, and it's at a restaurant called the Civil on Charles Street in Baltimore. I heard about it. Finally made it on a Friday night, and I'm there. It's a lot of people. I want to say this was pre-COVID. It had to be. Yeah, I think it was pre-COVID. I think.
Mm.
At any rate, whatever night it was, I walk in. I see a couple people that I know, and I want to say maybe 10 to 15 minutes into my time there, I finally got seated, and this dude is up on the.
Not the solo play, not the solo play. Like it took me 15, 20 minutes just to get seated.
It did. You know how it gets packed
Oh
over there.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
Especially it was pre-COVID, especially pre-COVID. But anyway, so I I get to my seat, and the person who was hosting that night, I don't know if it was Jamal or someone else, but at any rate, they went to this guy up on the balcony who starts singing. What is the title of the song? Is it My Pony?
Oh Lord. Well, so I'm trying. If I can remember, yes. So the song is "Pony" by Genuine.
Yes.
Yes. Uh
First
huh.
of all, I was trying to figure out who this guy was with all the women in the room talking about, dang, why? And I'm like, so I look, and it's who you see on the screen right now, Wyatt Hall. And I'm like, okay, never seen this guy before, but the crowd loves him. And he sang his heart out, the whole, finished the song. I was like, okay, he's just going to do a little bit and medley and something else. No, Wyatt did the whole song. And then they went on to the next artist, and the host, of course, said, "Yeah, why?" It's something to the effect of "You're a regular," and why it makes the ladies go crazy, and blah blah blah. But I was like, okay, this guy, he knows his stuff. He knows he is a performer, an entertainer, and yeah, Baltimore loves him. So at that night, we did not meet. I said to myself,
Mm.
I gotta meet this guy. We met. I want to say it was at another event. It wasn't even at the Vibe. I think so.
Um. Yeah. Was it Soul to Soul? Was that when we first like met in person? Was it? Was it? I think it was. I think it was like Soul to
It
Soul.
was.
I think it
It was.
was one of their yeah one of their synergy events. Yeah, I remember that. Oh my lord.
And it's funny that we're actually on this platform because this is the intro to something we've been talking about doing for months.
In
Um,
the making, we're going on a year now. I think at least, right?
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man, my lord.
So Wyatt, guys, is the co-host for That's So Music, the show. These are That's So Music moments, but he is the co-host for it. So there we go. We just talked
So
about
here it is. So
it.
this is the mic drop moment. This is the fanfare. I need to get like some kind of editing right now, like some like confetti coming out of nowhere. It's like yeah, but yeah. Spoiler alert.
In the flesh. Hilarious. Yeah, so guys, that's the music. The show is coming, but let's backtrack and how did you get started in music? What, how did you get to the point where you sing in the venue like that? How did you?
Oh gosh. So yeah, I will say that like it depends on who you ask as far as when I started music. If you were to ask my mom, I started music back when Winnie the Pooh had a theme song and I sang along to it when I was a kid. But for myself, let's see, I got really into music. So just a little backstory on me. I grew up I grew up in the church. Grew up in a Pentecostal church. Both my parents would drag us to services, and for me, I mean, I love the music. I always loved the music. I always loved being a part of it. I always loved just that. Always was a part of my identity, and I always, in every aspect of my life. And so I got started. I joined the praise team, and they're like, "Well, we need a guitar player," and I'm like, "I don't know how to play the guitar, but I can learn." So I'd learn how to play the guitar. It's like, "Oh, well," it's like, "But I really want to sing." It's like, "Oh, we don't really need a singer right now, but we need a bass player." It's like, well, I can learn how to play bass, and it pretty much to the point where I learned every instrument on that stage. And then they're like, "You know what? Finally, why we're gonna give you a shot. We're gonna let you sing." I'm like, "I'm not gonna let you all down." And sure enough, just the rest is history there. And as far as going to a venue like the Civil and singing a song like Pony, from that, so that seems like such a drastic change. That seems like a 180, so I fell in love with R&B and soul about 10 years ago, I'd say. And like it just like, I mean, music soul child, 90s Usher, I mean, just like all that. For me, like I grew up in very much a Christian contemporary country pop, like just not really, like I wasn't really in that world. And then but then I started, once I listened, I just couldn't get enough of it. And the all the so at the Civil, I mean, the manager's there, and Jeff Mitchell, the guy who hosts the Vibe and has his whole event and stuff like that. Like we go way back. And so but I got called up. It's like, "Hey, you're gonna come through? You're gonna come to the Civils? It's a new event. We're going over. It's like R&B night." I'm like, "All right, cool." And I show up there, and then sure enough, they're like, "Well, why? What song are you gonna sing?" Because I was the only what is the PC way of saying this? I was the only this guy there. I was the only white chocolate there, and and so I'm just like, "Oh, well, I gotta make my stamp. I gotta make sure they don't forget." And so I was like, "Guys, we gotta sing Pony," and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's gonna be good." And from then on, I swear, everybody, just like Selena was saying, every girl over here, like, "Oh my," like phones out, like phones over
Yeah.
here, like, "Oh, who is this? What? Oh my God, yeah, that's my song." And from then on, I love being out here in the DMV in Baltimore, DC, and just singing, R&B, singing soul, and yeah, I don't see myself stopping anytime soon. So long answer to that question.
No, that was good. That was good. As you were talking, I was thinking about not only how the venue responded to you, but just how the Baltimore community responds to you. Period. And I'm thinking about Baltimore Urban Inspirational Choir. How did you get
Oh
connected to? We'll
God.
talk about it, and then how did you get connected to them?
How did I get? Okay,
Um,
so the Baltimore Urban Inspirational Choir. So the director of that choir, Theron Fowler, we actually met again, just like how I met Selena. We met at the Civil. Um, I think Jamal introduced us, and I remember we hung out a few different times. Just like a few different, like he had, like Theron has his events. I think I went to one of those, and I remember he put out. It was right after Juneteenth of 2020, and that because that was when the choir first started, was Juneteenth. They had an event, and that was the start of the choir. And he was like, "Hey, I'm having tryouts for my choir. You should get involved." And I was just like, "Well, Theron, it looks like the age group there is 12 to 18. I'm a bit older, like a decade older than a lot older than that." So and he's like, I'll change the age group. Don't worry about all that. Just
that
come
sounds
through." I'm like,
fun.
"All right, bet." And so I came through, and it was funny because they have auditions, like obviously, like any kind of music organization. When you get to know people, like, "Hey, audition to be a part," and they're like, "Hey, choose one instrumental song, choose one a cappella." And I'm like, "Oh man, well, what can I do? What songs should I do?" So I remember acapella. I did "Feeling Good," Nina Simone. I mean, like that song acapella just like I mean
Yeah.
nobody can sing it like her. And but I will say like this something about that song. You just whenever you sing it, you just really have that kind of that that raw that just that energy. Like oh, so good. So I did that for my acapella, and so it was Theron Fowler, Danton Whitley, and I'm trying to remember. There's another person there. There's another judge there to kind of make it like like the American Idol, X Factor, The Voice, whatever, whichever is your preference. And they're like, oh yeah, no, that sounded good. And I was like, okay, so what's your instrumental song? And up until that point, I was like, I have no idea. I didn't know what I was gonna do. And I'm so glad because at first I was thinking that they were gonna want me to sing Pony, but good lord, I mean it's a young adult choir. I didn't want that to be their first impression of myself. I didn't feel like that would have been a good idea. So there was this artist Charlie Puth,
Yeah.
phenomenal artist. I love how much of a producer he is. Like he just makes things up, and this is really great. So I was like, well, there's a song by him called "Some Type of Love,"
Yeah.
and I remember they turned on the instrumental, and I was just over there like, when the world's on fire, we won't even move. And I just see him the falsettos. And for me, I love it. Anytime that I perform, anytime that I sing, I always want the energy to be at 1,000. I always love just the interactive, just to be in the moment because just not only just the seeing people's reactions or whatever, but just feeling the energy and feeling how like I love the fact that I can have the opportunity to make somebody feel good or feel joy just for the few minutes that I perform. And so every single time I perform like it's like I'm like front runner for a Chris Brown concert or something crazy like that, right?
Yeah.
So in this audition, I was performing. I was definitely performing, and I'm like, oh, but I gotta do something to make sure that they don't forget. I gotta do something that like seals it, right? So I remember there's this part where it kind of the music kind of calms down. And it's just the person singing. So I jumped off the stage. I slid down to artist Gabby Simone, and I started singing to her. I took her hand. And I was like, "When the world's on fire, we won't even move." And literally everybody's reaction was like, "Oh my god!" Just laughing and stuff like that, actually blushing and stuff like that. Needless to say, from then on, it's history. I've been a part of the choir now for the past couple of years. So yeah,
Yeah. I
mm.
can imagine Gabby's expression when you do that. I
It
can, but
was yeah.
she already has. She's a beautiful queen in her eyes. She'll look at you like I could see how she would look at you. I can only imagine that moment. I want to
First
hear
time.
her version. What did she
Oh,
think?
her. Oh, it was no. It was first. So first time. I think it was like first time I met her in person. I think like I've been a part of a couple of like her lives and other stuff like that. But I remember it was first time meeting her in person. So literally, I think like right after that, I was like, "Hey, nice to meet you." I just kind of walked away. Oh gosh, but no, yeah, she's great. She's doing her thing. Just yeah,
Yeah.
awesome.
So let's talk about your projects.
Mm.
What about the most recent Grow?
Oh man, Grow. So Grow is the most recent project that I released. I released that back in February. Did a music video with it. Did a whole treatment with all that, and that song. I remember I was in the studio with so my producer and also a good artist friend of mine, Brandon Watts. We were in the studio and we're like, we just um, you're Not Alone had released, I think, a few months prior, and I was like, that's another one of my songs, very much a inspirational CCM song. Just like it really for me, it was a heart song. Right, I wrote that song right before COVID started.
Mm.
But leading up to, but we were in the studio and we're just like, man, we need to like, I feel like we really need to have like a song that just like everybody can move to. It can be something like if somebody listens to it, it's like a different vibe. It's something to kind of throw somebody off in a good way. So we're sitting there I was telling us like, yeah, maybe we can kind of go for like we can go for kind of like this like Post Malone meets The Weekend vibe. And he's like, ooh, I like that. I'm like, yeah, yeah. And so we're just in the studio. He's got like his guitar, and we're putting some instrumentals together. And I'm just over here thinking of this like, okay, what can the song be about? Okay, I'm singing to this person. Okay, cool. Because for me, when I write a song, I hear melodies in my head. I don't just like, I'm not with a notepad. If I do that, I got writer's block and I can't write. I have to hear a melody in my head and then put words to a melody. And I remember just in my head, like we had the hook, and it was just a like, you won't stop loving some song, little girl. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, okay. And then we just kind of went with that. And I remember I told Brendan now, Brendan is an artist in his own right, phenomenal guitarist, phenomenal producer, one of the DMV's like greatest, like, and so humble. I told him one time, I was like, man, if you had just a speck more ego, you would be just blowing up. You'd be going crazy all over the place. I swear, just a little bit. He's like, right, man, we're just having fun. We're just having a good time. I'm like, man, all right. So, um, but gosh, so I told him, I was like, hey, but with this song, like, bro, you should like sing. You should sing a line in the song. He's like, what? It's like, yeah, you should sing a little bit. He's like, bro, I don't know. I'm like, bro, listen, like, I want this song. I don't want this to be Grow Wyatt Hall. I want this Grow Wyatt Hall featuring Brandon Watts. Help
Uh-huh.
me out. And he's like, all right, yeah, we'll do it. So I remember we were going through he was like, well, you should do like a little like it was like, why do you ever rap? I'm like, do what? Do I? Come on, don't do that. Do I rap? Come on. He's like, oh, come on. You do like a little, Drake something, right? You do a little something or whatever. And I'm like, all right. So when we're doing like the pre-hook is like, I'm running down your love, I'm running down a nigga lost, and you're falling down, yeah, I'm falling down. You pick me up, you make me better now, yeah, I'm better now. You bring the peace in me, and I remember when we were going through that. Oh gosh, it took so many takes for me to get that. I'm over there. I remember he's like, all right, yeah, so like, we have the words down for this. Like, yeah, the words are here. This and he's like, oh yeah, bro, that really rolls off the tongue. So let's run it. All right, cool. So we're in here, like, headsets on, and we're like, all right, well, we're just gonna run through. Let's try it. And I'm over here like running down. Oh god, no, we gotta run that again. But just fumbling through it all. And he's like, okay, well, we're gonna break it up. We're gonna do it in sections. I'm like, that sounds like a great idea. Let's do it in sections.
I don't remember if
But
it was your Instagram or his, but one of you showed that night, or maybe like I remember this. You didn't tell me this, but I remember knowing this somehow. Was it him? Maybe.
oh no, so I did. So we both did a little like, I mean, like, I think you did like a story, like a little behind the scenes shots. But I remember I did like we were just kind of vibing to the beat, and I just did a little voiceover. It's like, there's some behind the scenes of our next project coming soon, just grow whatever. And yeah, I swear that we just have a blast. I mean, anytime we're in the studio, it's just like,
You can tell.
because we just start like, I mean, in the studio, the creative process is just, it's endless. It literally, and for me, anytime. So as a Christian, I tell people this. It's like, I'm not a Christian artist. I'm an artist who's a Christian.
Yeah.
What that being said is like, obviously my relationship with God, there's always going to be a fingerprint on that with whatever songs I create. So for me, it's like anytime I go into the studio, like, that's great that, like, I'll be working with Brandon, because it's just like, yeah, it's like, hey bro, like, let's try to make, like, let's just keep on, let's let the ceiling be our next floor. Let's just keep on going up and keep on going up.
Yeah.
And sure enough, it really has been that. I mean, a lot of people have really liked Grow. It's been circulating throughout Baltimore, DC, Philly. I got like some promote. It's on about 18 playlists right now on Spotify.
Nice.
And just, it's just, I mean, it's one of those situations where, like, if I was thinking about it, it's like, oh well, I just put a song out there and then nothing crazy, and then it's like, hey, you do realize that song is like got like 5,000 views in a week, right? I'm like, oh, that's cool. I'm just on to the next song.
Mhm.
But yeah, so honestly, yeah, I had a lot of fun with that song. I had a lot of fun with the music video. Gosh, it was like, I think we shot the music video in January, and it was like right after it snowed. So it was
Yeah.
like really cold outside. But like for some reason, I'm like, hey guys, let's do this in a parking garage with no heat. Let's just go ahead. Let's just run this. This sounds like a great idea, guys. Let's do it. And oh man, we recorded. It was funny because we recorded little segments of it, and then like it would every like 5 to 10 minutes, the videographer would have to go back inside his car to warm up his fingers.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
couldn't like hold the camera right, and so I had to go back out. Um, and gosh, I remember also too in the Grow music video, making the plans with the videographer, the treatment, getting everything put together. Um, when you put deposits down, you make sure that like, hey, this is the treatment, this is the storyline, this is what the idea is. We're going to be working for this many hours. There's a lot of logistics that goes into putting music videos, just to
Yeah.
let all the viewers know. There's a lot to it. And so, with that said, literally the night before the shoot date, uh, the people that the leading lady that I had from my music video canceled on me, and I'm like, oh my god, no, what? This is crazy. So I'm over here, I'm on Instagram, like, hey, paid model position needed right now for this music video, and it was funny because I was talking with this, this entertainer, this performer, and I shot her the idea, and she's like, "Oh, I think I'm busy that day." I'm like, "All right, cool, whatever, it's fine. Thanks anyway. Thanks for the consideration." She messages me like maybe a couple hours before I was supposed to meet up at the studio for the music video, or excuse me, the parking garage, and she texted me. She's like, "Hey, something else came up. Didn't like I couldn't do it, but now I'm free. I'm available." I'm like, "Yes, thank you so much." Send all the details over. Literally the same day, drives
Wow.
over, meets us at the event, or meets us at the venue, and literally the first time I'm meeting this person in person, we do the music video. It's great. She was great, and yeah, yeah, it was one of those situations where it's just like, man, that could have been so bad, but
Yeah.
luckily, and I'm about to quote scripture: all
Oh,
things work together for the good of those who
sir.
love God. Come on now, come on
I love
now.
stories like that. I love stories like that where it looks like it's about to just not tank, but in our heart,
Mhm,
we see as creatives, when we see something a certain way, we want it exactly how we envisioned it. And
mhm,
so I can only imagine how you felt just a couple hours before. I'm thinking certain
mm.
instances. One of my assistants is here with me. I'm sure she remembers some moments with previous productions where a couple hours before some stuff was not looking good. But we finished the production, and the audience didn't know what was happening behind the scenes, but we were feeling it.
Mm.
Um, I'm glad that that worked out so well for you. It seems like she was supposed to be the one anyway. Um,
It Yes, and in fact, it's so crazy too. Like honestly, a shout out to India Palmer because she really did like. Um, so what's crazy is because after that, it was just like one of those like, hey, like you really came through for me. I really appreciate it, and and we've been friends ever since. Really awesome, really great, and we in fact also did a cover. We did a CCM cover of the song "Reckless Love."
mhm.
And yeah, and I mean, so out of that, I was like, okay, look at God, won't He do it? I need to stop. I need to stop. I'm over here. I need to.
All right. Well, okay. So tell our audience what's next for you and invite them to what's coming up at the end of the month, July 30th. And tell them how they can contact you.
Yes. All right. So things that are coming up for me. So just as we were talking about, I'm always in the studio. I'm sitting on a bunch of songs right now that I just need to you know set up times and release them. So I got a lot of new singles coming out. I have a lot of new collaborations projects that I'm working on.
Nice.
Just a lot of things. This season has definitely been kind of a setting up season, a season of like things being put into place, like almost like a bow and arrow, like I'm getting pulled back, and it's about
Oh,
to like
wow.
we're
Yeah.
about to go forward, we're about to go forward with this. Even with that, some music and
Oh,
and
good part.
yeah, and a little plug there, yeah. And so I'm very excited for that. I'm very excited for the things to come. This year has definitely been a roller coaster of a year, but I'm really looking forward to all the things to come. With all that being said, yes, everybody should definitely be Summerfest, right? On the July 30th from noon to 4, right? And I'm not looking at. I don't have any notes here. I'm over here. Just this is just me winging it over here. But yes, it is myself and many other amazing performers, singers, artists, dancers, talents are going to be there. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Be sure to bring your own lawn chair. You're going to want your own lawn chair. Definitely be sure to bring that. Yeah, and then food trucks, different vendors. It'll be a great time for the
Wow,
whole
you're really
family.
selling this. Yeah.
Like, yeah, absolutely. She'll be like, "Wow, you're really selling this." I'm a part of it. My face is on the my face is on a poster, so kind of selling it. Oh
Right.
yeah, so
This is us. Sorry. Go ahead.
but yes, but please definitely be there. I'm going to be performing some of y'all's favorite songs, some of y'all favorite hits, as well as some of my singles that I hope will be some of y'all's future favorite hits, future
Nice.
favorite songs. Yeah,
All that.
yeah, all that. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm very much looking forward to it. Ways that you can follow me and support me, I would definitely appreciate it. Follow my Instagram. It is Wyatt Hall Official. WYATTHALLOFFCIAL. Did I just spell? I'm over here like in post. We're just gonna have like letters come up as I'm spelling it. It's just gonna, it'll all work out. But yes, please follow my Instagram. That is the social media that I'm the most on and that I post to. But you can also follow my Twitter, Wyatt Hall Music, and you can follow like basically you follow those social medias, it'll give you links. The links will take you to my all of my streaming service platforms: Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, YouTube, TikTok. Even though I need to post a lot more on TikTok, I'm one of those TikTokers where I just swipe. I like looking at TikToks and I'm like, oh, that's funny, and it's like 3 hours later. Oh, whoa, I need to go to bed. that is the TikToker that I am, but we're gonna get there more. Yeah. So but yes, please definitely follow my social media. And yeah, just I'll be posting more updates there. And yeah, I just appreciate all the love and support.
Thank you, Wyatt. Well, guys, just like I'm sure you saw in this episode, Wyatt is one of the coolest dudes ever. This is truly him. Anytime you see him, I don't care where, if he expects to see you or not. I run into him in music venues, and it's the same all the time. That's something that's rare in the music industry, so I appreciate it. You
Mm,
know what? I need to say this.
absolutely.
I don't think I told you this. You reached out to me after we hadn't met for a while about That's So Music, and randomly you were like, in your own words, you said, "Don't give up on That's So Music. Don't put it on the shelf and let it collect dust. Like, let's keep moving
Mm,
forward with this." You did not know this, but that was the last couple of days at that point. I
mm,
was I was kind of thinking, you know what? Maybe it's not supposed to be what I'm thinking it's supposed to be. Maybe it's supposed to be just a blog, or not
right.
scale that. And then I realized after praying that I needed to do what we're doing right now, to do droplets and gradually scale it rather than trying to
Absolutely.
do it all big immediately. So you actually help inspire what we're doing right now. So thank you. I don't think I didn't tell you this.
No, no, no. And I'm over here just let's not start crying over here. Let's just but no, it's very true. In fact, I remember a good someone once said that like nobody is going to as opposed in regards to music, like nobody's going to listen to a song that they're not expecting. As far as that being said, for like that's some music, like it's great to have these little segments, these little moments, because for a lot of people, like if you're just like, hey, here it is, it's like they'll be like, oh, okay. Like,
Right.
and then, but like when he gradually kind of build it up and make it into what it's going to be, have a whole following, more following to what has already had right now, and
Yeah.
yeah, no, definitely looking forward to the future. It's funny how you're saying like, yeah, just whenever we like run into like different music venues and different stuff like that, like I'm all over the place. People, so many people are over here like, you're everywhere, like you know everyone. Like, what do you mean I know everyone? It's like you literally just dapped up the first 7 people that you just saw when you walked in here. I'm like, oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
just, and like you're saying, like, yeah, that's just me. That's just who I am. I just like just yeah, just like to go all these different places
I
and
sometimes
just like,
wonder when you sleep, Wyatt.
oh, I do. Yeah. Oh no, trust me. I get a good healthy amount of sleep. I'm good. I promise. I say that as like my eye starts twitching a little bit.
Oh my god. On that
Oh
note,
man.
time that you guys are saying this, it most likely for most of you, because this goes around the world, most of you it is bedtime. So we're gonna say good night and go and watch his video. Go to his YouTube channel, watch Grow, and watch what was the one just before that?
There's Grow. There's You're Not Alone. Yeah, and then I mean there are also covers, different things like that. All of it's on my social media. So yeah,
yeah,
it is.
check him out. Thank you, Wyatt. Guys, check him out at the Summer Beats Music Festival, July
Yes.
30th.
Yes. Oh, the double fingers, like yeah.
12 to 4. We're going to have a great time. Yeah, the momentum is building. Edgewood is an amazing community, and I love the fact that we get to do it here. This is an established event that has happened in the city of Baltimore, and it's coming to Harford County, and the first stop is Edgewood. So I love it. So, guys, definitely come, bring your friends and family, and let's have a great time. All right. Have a great one, guys.
Yeah.